everybody, and welcome into Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage. It is Friday, August 2nd, a fantastic Friday here in the great state of Wisconsin, or wherever you are listening. Hopefully you stayed dry yesterday. It seemed like the whole state of Wisconsin was experiencing the rain yesterday. I'm hoping it doesn't come back today, but oh man, as hot and humid as it's been, it seemed like it cooled off yesterday, but it was still humid, right? So it still felt miserable, and hopefully we can avoid the rain for a day, but it doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't seem like it there, but all in all, a great Friday. Glad for the weekend here. I got Autumn here with me today. Autumn, how we doing on this Friday? Getting ready for the weekend here.
I'm doing pretty good, Trajan. I am excited that it's Friday. I'm excited that it's going to be a beautiful sunny weekend. It's going to be hot again, but again, like I said yesterday, I'd rather have that than snow.
I don't know. I've been working out here in this stuff lately, and I don't know. I would maybe take the snow. I would maybe take the snow at this point over top of some of this. It's been hot. It has been hot. It has been humid. It has been absolutely terrible. But hey, we're here to talk sports. We don't care about the weather that much, even though it affects our daily lives. So with that, right away, I want to talk a little bit of, let's start with the Bucks. The Bucks made a move yesterday for a center. They signed free agent center. Oh man, that is a rough one. That is a rough one there. Pasecniks. They signed him there. That was you tell me out there. I want you to look up the Bucks free agent signing there, and you tell me if you could say his name, because that's a rough one. If you use Google to translate it for you, that's cheating. Autumn, what do we got? Do we got stats on this guy? Do we have any stats on this guy? I don't even know. I could try and Google him, but odds are my Google will say, "Did you mean to spell this?"
All I know is that Pasecniks,
good enough,
butchered that, was the 25th pick in the 2017 NBA draft and has played part of 2 seasons in the league, all with Washington. His career averages are 5.6 points and 3.9 rebounds per contest while shooting a 52.1% from the field in 28 regular season games. I know I was looking at some of the comments on here. They're talking, and a lot of people are like, who is this guy? Nobody's heard of him.
Yeah, I got nothing. I have never heard of this guy. This is one of those guys who gets drafted in the first round and you just never heard of him before. We've had a lot of those. But, I mean, a 7-footer looks like he might have some size to him. I'm pulling up his bio right now. Wanted to see what this guy's... 7 foot tall. Do we got a weight on this guy? Do we know how big this guy really is?
I'll be honest. At least from what they stated in the article, they drafted him for, in their words, big man insurance.
Big man insurance. So this guy he's got to be physical then. What they're trying to tell me there is this guy, he's got to be somewhat physical. He's got to be somewhat of a rebounder. So you're going for a defensive backup. You got a defensive backup there. That's all in all what it is. This isn't a big scoring guy like we know, like Autumn said there. 52% from the field, but that was over 5.6 points per game. Like, not big, and, not a lot of minutes to work around there, too. He's around the basket kind of guy, 7-footer. He's going to get after you defensively. This is just a piece. This is a piece. You may never see him, right? But he's just a backup center in case you need him. You have Brooke. You have Bobby. You're going to have Giannis technically as a backup, but Giannis really doesn't like playing the center position. We know Giannis loves playing the 3-point line, right? That's what Brooke does anyways, so who cares? He can be the center. Our center doesn't play the post to begin with. So, just a depth piece. Everybody wanted a backup center. Here's your backup center. It's nothing pretty. It's not a diamond, but maybe it's, I don't know, a fake diamond you bought from Walmart. I don't know. It could be one of those. It could be a Walmart diamond. I don't know with this guy. It's one of those signings. It's nothing pretty, but it'll do. It'll do, I guess. With that one. The Bucks are they're on a little bit of they're on a budget. We can only spend so much. We can only spend so much, right? You went out and you had your choices of your breads that you could get, and you got the white bread, the cheap loaf, right? You can only get the cheap loaf. You can't get the expensive one. We got to go for the off-brand white bread. That's what we got here with this guy. So with that, I mean, that's about all we got Bucks talk. Not a whole lot happening with the Milwaukee Bucks right now outside of that signing there. Like we said, I mean, we do have Team USA. They're going to be in action again tomorrow, taking out Puerto Rico. So good game there. Hopefully the U.S. extends that win streak to 3. They get to 3-0 in Phase A. I believe it's called Phase A, Phase 1 of the pool play. And then we'll get into the actual tournament, get closer to the medal games there. So with that, getting out of the Bucks, getting to a little bit of Packer talk for the day. This is an interesting one. Not really a news breaker. I guess this wasn't like breaking news out there, but we did see the Packers on Thursday announce that they will be unveiling their new alternate helmets for the winter warning game. The new white alternate helmets include a solid white face mask, a white shell with the traditional Packers G green logo on the side, and dark green stripes down the middle. The team will hold its first ever winter warning game against the Houston Texans on October 20th. That makes sense. That's right around snow flying season. At Lambeau Field, the helmets will be worn with the team's regular road white jerseys, white pants, and white socks. I mean, I'm not going to say I hate the scheme that they decided to go with for that. Like it's not I guess for me, when I looked at the helmet, I was kind of, if you just heard that, it is really coming down outside right now. It is really coming down out there. It's a crack of thunder out there. Just dang near had me having to go to the bathroom. But, I mean, I'm looking at these helmets here, and, you know, a lot of people, a lot of comments there, they love it and everything like that. But, I don't know. That helmet there, I kind of wish it had some yellow. I kind of wish it had some yellow mixed in there. I mean, the green and the white, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not going to say it's not a cool scheme and everything like that, but I look at it and I'm like, you could use a little bit of yellow. I don't know where you add it, but you could. I'm going to get to I have somebody now who's a little bit more into fashion than I am because I can barely dress myself figuring out color codes. So, Autumn, I mean, looking at these new uniforms, you're not a Packer fan, but what would you say? I mean, the helmets, we already know about the road jerseys. We've seen them before. But the helmets, what would you say when looking at that?
They look like the Jets. I think they're secretly trying to, channel the, Aaron Rodgers because they don't think that Jordan Love will do a good enough job this season.
Well, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one there.
I had to put the jab in where it was needed.
I'm not sure about that one. But would you say, looking at that helmet, it could have used a little bit of yellow?
I think it could have used a little bit of something. I'll be honest, it really just does look like the Jets helmets, just flip the colors around. The Jets are green. I think it's got the Green Bay logo, but that's just what it reminded me of when I first looked at it.
Yeah, I could see that. Just flip the colors around a little bit there. But yeah, just the yellow. I'm just missing the yellow. Maybe like a yellow stripe or something on there instead of the green stripes. I think that would have pulled it off. I think that would have been the kicker for me. I think that would have been the kicker. But, I mean, all in all, I don't think it's a terrible jersey. I don't think it's a terrible helmet. I don't think it's a terrible scheme. Looks good. Everybody's been wanting to kind of see the white helmet look with the Green Bay Packers. I think they finally pulled it off. Great to see. The winter warning game on October 20th, though. That seems like it's like a November thing. October? Like we're pulling this off in October? If it's snowing in October, we got issues. Because that's going to lead to a long winter there with that. So, I mean, new jersey scheme, new everything, and we also have some doorknobs talking about the Packers and other teams in the NFL right now. One of the guys that I dislike the most, well, I got a couple guys on here who have had some bad takes over the last couple days that I'm going to talk about, but the number one guy that I dislike listening to is Nick Wright. I think Nick Wright he's not right. He's far from right. They should be Nick Wrong, right? Nick Wrong. I don't know. That's a bad pun. But Nick Wright gave his 8 teams with Super Bowl chances, and, well, all I could say was this guy, he's not further from he's a doorknob. He's a doorknob. Let's go with that. So Nick Wright tells me these are the 8 teams with a chance at a Super Bowl. Number 1, the Detroit Lions. Kansas City Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Texans, 49ers. All those teams outside of the Bills, because you show me no, the Bills can't get past Patrick Mahomes. So no, not even close with that Bill talk. I got to see a lot more out of the Bills. They're losing wide receivers left and right. They're in salary cap hell, and you're telling me that the Bills are your next up. No. They just let go of Jordan Poyer off the defense. They've let go of half the defense now. And you're going to tell me that no, shut up, Nick Wright. Just shut up. These are the two that really put me over the top. The LA Rams. Okay, we got the Rams and the Bears. Right? The Bears. The Rams, Sean McVay is a wizard. So I'm not going to shoot on the Rams right away because they still got Matthew Stafford. They got Puka Nacua. Like, this is still a solid team with the Rams. So I'm not going to completely shoot on them. But the Bears, you don't even have your quarterback. He hasn't taken a snap. He hasn't taken a snap at the NFL level. And you already are telling me you think that the Bears will be a Super Bowl contender. Everybody who says that has no say in the Jordan Love situation. Because if you watch Jordan Love for the last, how many games last year? 9 games of the year? Then you have to believe that Jordan Love is a Super Bowl contender, right? He has to be. He did it for 9 games in the NFL. And you're already jumping on this Caleb Williams is going to lead this team. You know, he's just got to be good. Blah, blah, blah. I got to see it. I got to see it first. Matty Eberflus is an idiot. And he is the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He has to coach good to get them over the top. And I don't believe he can. So that could already be a downfall. So the Bears in there. These are the teams that he has on the outside looking in. The Baltimore Ravens, the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. First off, how do you put the Bears above the Ravens? I don't know. That completely baffled me. And then, not only that, you put them above the Dallas Cowboys. Last time I checked, the Dallas Cowboys were still pretty good. They're still a good team, right? They're still trying to figure out CeeDee Lamb and Dak, but they'll get that figured out. Still a good team. And if you had to give me, if I was a betting man, and they said, you got Cowboys, Bears, who are you going to take? If it's neutral field, I'm taking the Cowboys. I don't trust. This isn't me talking as a Packer fan. This is me talking as a football fan. I haven't seen Caleb Williams take a snap at the NFL level. He took snaps at USC. Guess what? There's no defense in the Pac-12. I don't know how many people need to be told that, but when you watch Pac-12 football, first off, you got to stay up until, if you're in the Midwest, you got to stay up until about 9, 10 o'clock at night to actually, you could watch the final game of the night in college football at it starts at 6 o'clock. You could watch the end of that, take a nap, wake up, and you will probably just be at halftime of the Pac-12 game that's happening that night. That is how ridiculous it is. USC played against terrible defenses. Caleb Williams proved nothing to me at USC for winning games. Yes, he had the stats. Great. Whoop-de-doo. You had the stats. Now put it into a game. Put it into a championship run. USC's defense sucked. Sure, they weren't great. That was the entire Pac-12. Welcome to it. So, the Bears being above the Packers, being above the Cowboys, being above the Ravens. Come on. I mean, that's just, in other words, horse crap right there. The Lions, Chiefs, Texans, 49ers, and the Bengals are getting back Joe Burrow. Those teams, yes, they're automatic. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, you have Joe Burrow, you have very good weapons with the Lions. CJ Stroud is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, if you ask me. And you have Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and the boys coming back in San Francisco with a pretty good defense, right? And Kyle Shanahan calling it. Those 5 teams, no doubt to me. The Bills, Bears, and the Rams, you could easily say that the Packers, Cowboys, and Ravens have just as good of a Super Bowl shot as they do. So his list, absolutely, I don't know if it irritated. It sounds like I'm irritated. More or less just confused the crap out of me and made me think this guy is just a doorknob. That's all I could think. This guy is a doorknob there. So that's the tip of the iceberg. Then we had to hear from Skip Bayless. And, well, you want to talk about numbnutses. Skip Bayless. Let's throw him out there. Skip Bayless says that Caleb Williams may be the first rookie QB to make his team an instant Super Bowl contender. An instant Super Bowl contender. Let's watch him first, right? Yes, the Bears might be a Super Bowl contender simply because they put the weapons in the room, right? Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You got pretty good running back there, DeAndre Swift. The defense, if it plays as good as last year, will be solid, right? What tells you that Caleb Williams is going to be any good? What tells you that? We've seen a lot of number one picks, right? Turn into flops. Johnny Football. Where's Johnny Football now? He has a lot of the same, if you listen to the guy talk, if you watch his personality, everything like that, eerily similar to what we saw with Caleb Williams. And Johnny Football is a great college player. What did he do in the NFL? Not a whole lot. Got into a lot of bad stuff. Well, Caleb Williams, he's, like I always say, this guy's going to spend more time trying to figure out what color he's going to paint his fingernails and how he's going to do his hair before he actually walks out onto the football field. I don't know. But this, I thought Nick Wright and Skip Bayless were doorknobs before. This just took the cake for me. This just took the cake on this one. Man, oh man, these guys, wow. I saw it and all I could say was, wow, these guys, man, it's like they get paid to get hot takes, right? It's like they get paid to make hot takes out there. And, well, those hot takes are sometimes pretty stupid. And these are pretty stupid. I'm not going to lie. These are pretty stupid if you ask me there. So, with that, that's about all we got. That's about all we got for the Packer Talk for the day. I don't know. A little heated, I don't know, a little upset, little irritated listening to some of the so-called experts, right, in the world out there. So with that, before we move on here, I want to mention some of the great sponsors of the show here quick. First, Game Day Supply in Alaska. Do you have a sports club or team? Are you looking for some sweet custom uniforms or apparel? Check out the awesome crew at Game Day Supply in Alaska to help your team get the sweetest gear. Find them on Facebook at Game Day Supply or online at GameDaySupply.net. Also, Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. If you've been injured recently, whether it's at work, whether it was pushing the lawnmower, playing with the kids, whatever it was, you felt something tear, pop, something that wasn't supposed to feel like that, you felt it go. And you were like, I might need to see a physical therapist. Stop in there and see Chad at Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. He'll get you right. He'll get you back to work, back out, mowing the lawn, playing with the kids, back doing whatever you were doing, feeling better than ever. Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood. Sports Scene, sports cards, and memorabilia, located in the Marshfield Mall in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Get down there and see Al. He has everything you need, from sporting cards to memorabilia, jerseys, model stock cars. He's got it all. Sports Scene in Marshfield. Marshfield Motor Speedway is located just 3 miles outside of Marshfield on County Road H. Get down there this summer. Tons of family fun for all ages. Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. Nothing better than a great summer day or night down at the track. Marshfield Motor Speedway's there. Pittsville Farm and Home Center. At the store, they serve you anything from hydraulic hoses to red roses. Stop in and see the awesome crew at Pittsville Farm and Home Center in Pittsville, Wisconsin. And also your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty. Call Peggy Sue or Anna to find your dream home, or if you're looking to sell. Find them on Facebook at your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty, or stop in and see them at their location in Marshfield. But with that, we got to get to Autumn's tidbits. We got to get to Autumn's tidbits first. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We got to get to Autumn's tidbits. Someday. Autumn, what do we got? Tidbits for the day.
Update on the Olympics. Simone Biles secured the women's individual all-around gold medal today, making it her 6th gold medal total. The women's basketball secures a spot in the quarterfinals with their win today over Belgium, scoring 87-74. The USA men's rowing wins their first Olympic gold medal since 1960. And the USA sets the record for the most medals won by any country in the Olympics, with 3,000 medals earned in the Summer and Winter Olympics combined. No other country has ever won more than 1,500 medals. Yesterday, We talked about how much the United States gives their athletes for their gold medals. I found the amount. United States gives them $37,500. Canada gets $14,608. France, $85,960. Australia, $13,340. Spain, $101,003. Italy, $193,410. And Germany with $21,490. Again, just a quick Olympic update. Something a little different today. We have for women's college basketball, Paige Beckers has signed an NIL deal that will make her the first college athlete to have equity in a professional sports league. So the UConn women's basketball star Paige Beckers is signing an NIL deal with the new Unrivaled Basketball League. Yesterday, she is expected to play for both the WNBA and Unrivaled when she graduates. The Unrivaled League will debut in January 2025 in Miami. Beckers is playing one more college basketball season and will not be available until that spring, which means her debut will likely happen in 2026. However, she is still expected to get some experience, which would make her the first active NCAA athlete to receive the Equity in Pro Sports League. I asked Trajan what Unrivaled was. He wasn't sure, so I went and looked a little into it. So the Unrivaled League is a 3v3 women's basketball league founded by the UConn legends Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier to give players an incentive to play in the United States during the WNBA offseason. It will feature 6 teams with 5 players on each squad. So far, 10 out of the 30 players have been announced. One of the unique aspects of it is that all 30 initial players will receive equity ownership.
We're getting there. We're getting there with that. Lots of good stuff there in the tidbits, though. Lots of good stuff. Man, to be a Canadian Olympic athlete doesn't pay. Doesn't pay right there. 14,000 there, 608. Well, first off, I mean, that must be after tax because 14,608, that just seems like a really odd number. Like, just round down, round up, like, give me 700. I don't know. That's just a weird number there. And Australia, are you kidding me? I mean, you can barely pay for the anti-venom to try to fend off all them snakes and stuff out there. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, you need to make more in Australia. 13,000 there? Don't even go. Don't even go. Go play handball with somebody else. I'm not playing handball for 13,000. That's just ridiculous right there. Italy's paying well, though. 193,000. They must not win a lot of medals out there. A lot of gold medals. They're trying to really spruce it up for players and everything like that. But I mean, the U.S. sends a lot of athletes, so 37,000 is probably pretty high with all the athletes that they'd end up having to pay. Like, if everybody won a gold medal, that'd be ridiculous. That'd be a ridiculous pay cut that they would have to give out there. But good stuff there. Glad to see Paige Beckers getting some money, I guess, in there. Now we know what Unrivaled is. I think I heard now that you say it now. Caitlin Clark was invited to the 3-on-3 league too, I believe, at one point. I believe she was invited too. So we'll see if she gets in there, and maybe we see Angel Reese too, right? One of the best players in the NBA or WNBA. We got to see Angel Reese get at in there. It wouldn't be the same. It would not have the same viewership if it was just Caitlin Clark. We would need to see Angel Reese in there too to see viewership just skyrocket. It would skyrocket through the roof there. So with that, a little bit of an MLB tidbit. I know it's not my job to give the tidbits, but a little bit of an MLB talk there. We see Mike Trout is out again with another meniscus tear. Wow. At some point, do you just call it quits? At some point, like, this guy just is injury riddled, first off. Secondly, for some reason, he tries to stick it out with the Angels. You know what? I'm all about being loyal to a fan base, being loyal to a team. I'm all about that. But at some point, don't you just get sick of losing? Like, the gamer in you, right? Every athlete, every pro athlete has that thing that they just want to win. They just want to succeed. They want to be the best that they can be. They want to win, they want to bring a title, everything like that. the Angels are doing nothing for Mike Trout. They had two of the best players in the MLB for multiple years, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. What did they do with it? Absolutely nothing. He's been to the playoffs like one time. I don't know. I mean, Autumn, speaking on Mike Trout, now we know about the meniscus tear. It sucks. It sucks to see because everybody loves to see Mike Trout play the game of baseball. It's always more exciting when Mike Trout's out there. But at some point, do you stop almost feeling bad for this guy? Because first off, he's playing on a crappy team who doesn't really give a crap. They just keep throwing terrible roster together after terrible roster. They try to make things work, and they actually make it worse. Like, at some point, do you just stop feeling bad for this guy? Because get yourself out of there. Get yourself out of an Angels uniform because this just sucks.
I mean, I think it get. I mean, you don't like to see people hurt, but I think it does get to a point where it's like, okay, when is enough enough? He just had a meniscus tear, and he just did it again. He didn't even come back for the season. I was talking on the phone with my brother tonight, and I said, "Did you hear Mike Trout had another meniscus tear?" And he goes, "He just got off of a meniscus tear." So it's like, it's just one of those things where when's enough?
I don't know. Like, dude, just get yourself out of there. The Angels stink. That organization stinks. They've done nothing good for you. You deserve, as good as you've been, you deserve to at least put on a playoff run or at least get into a moment like that. And this team's never going to do it for you. It's never going to happen. They are a downhill spiral. They're paying Anthony Rendon, and that guy hasn't played more than 60 games in the last 3 years. He's the same guy who said that they need to play less games because it's taxing on his body, and he hasn't played over 60 in the last 3 years. So, I mean, that team is just... yes, you never want to pray for somebody to get hurt. You want to feel bad for somebody who's hurt. But, man, oh man, Mike Trout needs to get out of there. He needs to get out from the Angels' grip and just go somewhere else. I don't care where it is. Give yourself a shot, man. Give yourself a shot for 5 seconds. And then the injury actually seems more like it's like got more consequences. It seems worse, right? If Christian Yelich got hurt and the Brewers were they won 30 games, they were 30-70. Who cares? Like, Christian Yelich out. Okay, now we see rookies play. Like, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's not as big of a deal. But when you're in a playoff hunt, now it's a big deal. This isn't a big deal. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's a headline news because it's Mike Trout. But, I mean, honestly, is it that big? No. The Angels are so far out of contention every single year that I forget Mike Trout's playing or he's not playing because it doesn't matter. It doesn't truthfully matter unless if you're a Mike Trout fan. It doesn't truthfully matter. If you got him in fantasy or you're on a betting line for him, it doesn't really matter what he does. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, I mean, he just got to get out of there. I forgot that he was, I knew that he was hurt. I forgot that he even was on a comeback drill or he came back, and now he gets hurt again. And I knew it was a meniscus the first time. Now it's a meniscus again. Man, they got some crappy trainers out there. I don't know what it is. They got something's going wrong. Something's going wrong if this guy is just constantly tearing up that meniscus. It's bad news. Bad news there. So, with that, let's get to some Brewers. They have a big weekend series coming up here. I mean, would you necessarily say big? No. Like, this shouldn't be that big of a series. You're playing the Washington Nationals. This is not a good team. This is a bad team. They were sellers at the deadline. This isn't a good team. But the way the Brewers have been playing over the last month, this is a big series. And I got to say it, there's some optimistic podcasts and shows out there that, they never get down on it. They're like, oh, they've had a bad month, but look at the run differential. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, they have a good run differential. Great. But wins and losses matter. And great. You know what? Great. As they brought up, everybody else has been struggling in the league. Fantastic, everybody else has been struggling. But wouldn't you want to see when other teams are struggling, your team can slowly build a lead? Get to 7 games. They're leading the division by 7 games, leading the division by 8 games. Wouldn't you rather see that? But no. We're good with it because everybody else has been struggling, right? Oh, what I saw was, the NL Central, they've all been 5-5 in their last 10 games. Great. Fantastic. Does that mean the Brewers moved up? No, they're still 5 games up in the division on the Cardinals. 5 games. Oh, that's a big lead. That's a big lead. That big lead can fall. You can lose 5 games just like that. Just like that. You have a couple series coming up here, the Brewers do, that I saw. They got the Braves. They're going to be playing in Atlanta. Then they come back home for the Reds. Then they play the Dodgers. Then the Guardians. And then they play the Cardinals, right? They play the Cardinals right then. So let's just say we just saw the Brewers and Braves square off, and the Brewers lost 2 of 3. You don't win this series against the Nationals this weekend. You travel to Atlanta, and you're playing a team that took 2 of 3 from you in Atlanta. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but that's dangerous. And then you play the Reds right after that, but then you got the Dodgers, one of the better teams in baseball, right? And then you have one of the best teams in baseball in the Cleveland Guardians before you end up playing the St. Louis Cardinals, who are chasing you. And then after the Cardinals, you have the Oakland A's, Giants, Reds, but then you play the Cardinals again. What I'm saying is that those 2 series against the Cardinals could mean a heck of a lot if the Brewers cannot figure it out. So yes, fantastic. Everybody else has been losing, but wouldn't you want to see a bigger lead now? So it's fantastic that everybody else is losing, but the Brewers are still not playing great baseball right now. They are not playing great baseball. Not what we saw early on. The offense has been struggling. The pitching staff has been struggling. I mean, you look at those last couple series there against the Braves. In the loss in Game 2, they gave up 5 runs. That was Joe Ross gave up 5 runs. In the loss in Game 3, they gave up 6 runs. Series before that against the Miami Marlins, a Miami Marlins team who, keep in mind, were once again sellers at the deadline. Why? They have not had a very good year. 6 runs in Game 1, 7 runs in Game 2 of that series. Look at the series before that against the Cubs. They won that series. Series before that, they won the series against the Twins there. But you look at that National Series, struggled in that one pitching against the Pirates. I mean, yeah, you faced Paul Skeens in there, so that was not helpful at all. But you see what I'm saying. Over this last month, we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series. We tied in a series there. We've lost 5 series in the last month, in the month of July. Yes, you don't need to sound off the alarms. We don't need to all, start completely freaking out at the world. But this series against the Nationals coming up this weekend is a big one. They need to get right. They need to figure it out, start flowing. The offense needs to find it, and the pitching staff needs to get rolling. We need to see something out of them this weekend. We need to see that the same fight that we saw early on in the season, we need to see that again. We need to see that come out of this Brewers team because, man, this could be a rough month. This could be a month where the standings could completely flip if the Brewers do not figure it out. Because, yes, like I was saying, all them optimistic shows have said to you, it's okay because everybody else is losing. Great. But this was a great time for the Brewers to build a lead. Instead, we're sitting there. We're sitting stagnant. 5 games up. Yeah, big lead. Not a big lead. Not a big lead in the division. They need to find it this weekend here against the Nationals because that is like I just read the schedule off to you, that is a rough stretch there that they're going to have from the Braves all the way to the Cardinals. That is a rough stretch. Don't count out the Reds either. Don't count out the Reds series as being a tough one back at home. Don't count it out. They have some really tough series coming up, and this ground that they could have made up could have been crucial in a moment like this because the Cardinals have a pretty relatively easy schedule the rest of the way. They have an easier schedule. The Brewers, it's tough. It's tough. And if you're not playing peak baseball right now, when is it going to show up? When is it going to show up there? So, rough series against the Braves. Bounce back this weekend, Nationals. We're going to see Frankie Montas in his debut for the Brewers on Friday. He's going to be taking on Irvin there for the Nationals. Saturday, we're going to see a matchup at 3:05 of Savali taking on Hers for the Nationals there. Savali 2-7. Hers coming in 1-4 with a 4.79 ERA there. And then looking at the matchup on Sunday, we're going to see Tobias Myers squaring off with Parker there for the Nationals. A lot of lefties. A lot of lefties going up against this Brewers team who does not hit well. They don't hit well against lefties. So This is a big series. This is a big time series, I believe, for the Brewers. This could be a turning point. This could be like that turning. This is the T in the road, right? This is the T in the road for me. Which way will it go? Which way will it go? I don't know. That's tough to say. I'm going to be the optimist. I'm going to go along with the optimism, right? I'm going to go around with the optimism, and I'm going to say the Brewers will pick the right road here. They will go right. They will end up on the right path here. I still have not lost complete faith in this team. What I'm saying is that if they end up swerving left, this could be a rough month. This could be a rough month of August, which sets up a very heated race when it comes down to it in September. So, man, oh man, hoping for the best, but we will see on that one there. So, with that, before I get to a little bit more Brewer talk here, we got to get to Autumn's fact of the day here.
Bandage. The granules of the sugar crystals will absorb any moisture that bacteria thrives on and heal it faster.
See, they're just trying to love you. That's what that whole song was about. It's about love. It's about loving on a cut. You get cut, sugar, automatic. The only thing I would worry about then, what if the ants start coming after you? What if you
put a Band-Aid over top of it?
Well, still, they're attracted then. What if you got bees coming, right? You imagine a cut, and then you get a honeybee stinger stuck up in there, and then you got to be in there all just like with the tweezers trying to dig out of your arm a stinger? You got to be digging a stinger out of a cut? It's even deeper now. That's dangerous.
Honeybees don't sting.
Wasp, black wasp, hornets, murder hornets, right? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some conspiracy theorists out there telling me that Donald Trump got a murder hornet took his ear out. It wasn't actually a bullet. It was a murder hornet. Can you believe that? That's crazy. That's crazy. These murder hornets that just got introduced to the United States are now aiming for former president's ears. So watch out, Barack Obama. You don't want to get hit by one of them babies because, man, oh man, it will. He's got some big ears. He's got some big ears. That's a wide surface area for them to hit. Shots on Barack Obama right now. You might like Barack out there. I'm just telling you, look at his ears. He doesn't have small ears. They're pretty good size. They're like, I don't know, like a Holstein cow's ears, maybe. I don't know, Wisconsin. I don't know. He's got big ears. All right, he's got big ears. So with that, we got to get enough about that. We got to get back into the Brewers a little bit there. We saw the Heart and Hustle Award was given out. Autumn, I need to know what this Heart and Hustle Award is. I need to know what it is because the Brewers, I mean, everybody gets a recipient of it. I mean, I'm going to be just pretty point blank with this one. I'm guessing it's for the most guy who gives the most heart and the most hustle on a team. That's what I'm guessing. It's just voted on. I don't know how it's voted on. What do you got? Does it show up anything for what the Heart and Hustle Award, more of a description and how they pick?
It was created by the MLB Alumni Association in 2005. It is voted on by alumni and active Major League players and is presented annually to an active player who demonstrates a passion for the game of baseball and best embodies the values, spirit, and traditions of the game.
That's cool. We just make awards up now. So, Willie Adames was your 2024 Heart and Hustle Award recipient for the Brewers. I mean, everything that Autumn just said there, I mean, that's Willie Adames for you. I mean, he's the heart and soul of this team. We know that. Dude's always having a blast, even when he's stinking it up, right? Even when he's playing like a stinker, he's still lighting it up out there. And I mean, yeah, Willie Adames is the recipient for the Brewers there. I guess I'm just looking around other notable guys. I hate Nico Horner, so I'm not going to agree with that one for the Cubs. I'm not going to agree with that one. I would have gave it to. Let's think. Give it to Craig Counsell. He's showing a lot of heart and hustle in there in the managerial room. He's He's the heart and soul of that team. Looking at him in press conferences, and he's got his hat off and he's rubbing his head like, I don't even know what's going on right now. That's my heart and hustle of that team. Jonathan India for the Reds. Brendan Donovan for the Cardinals. I got nothing bad to say about Brendan Donovan. Jonathan India's, I've never really had a big liking for Jonathan India, but good ball player. Good ball player. Brian Reynolds, same thing with the Pirates. I really wish the Brewers would make a trade for or somehow get Brian Reynolds, because I like Brian Reynolds. I think he's a fantastic baseball player there with the Pirates. Really surprised that we did not see Shohei Ohtani get it for the Dodgers. Teoscar Hernandez got it. We're talking home run derby champion. Teoscar Hernandez. Come on now. Didn't really deserve it there. But anyways, Teoscar Hernandez wins it for the Dodgers there. Not really any other notables, I guess. Not really that big of an award. So not really any of notable guys on there around the league there. But good stuff. Good stuff there. Willy Adames getting his award there. I have been, getting off of baseball a little bit. We've been watching the Hall of Fame game there between the Texans and the Bears. And these new kicking rules are kind of ridiculous. Like this, it's the XFL or whatever, whatchamacallit league now, where you start up the returning team starts up 5 yards off the ball, right? It's that new rule there. And the new onside kick rule is kind of ridiculous. So onside kicks are illegal before the fourth quarter, so you can't kick an onside kick early in the game. That's really going to screw me over in Madden because I like to throw it out there early in the game. Team must be losing to kick an onside kick, so you have to be losing the game to kick an onside kick. And the team must announce intention to kick an onside kick ahead of time. So you have to let the other team know that you are kicking an onside kick. Why? Why do I have to... So next, MLB has just announced to make it easier for the opposing player, we will now tell them what pitch is coming before we throw it. Curveball on its way. Why? Sometimes professional sports irritate me. Sometimes they do. Baseball with this whole pitch clock thing and everything like that irritated me right away. Sometimes I see it as a beneficial thing. Other times I'm like, why? But NFL, come on. This is dumb. Don't worry. We're kicking an onside kick. We're down by 7 with a minute left in the game. We just scored. We're going to kick an onside kick. No way. We knew that was already... We knew it was already coming. Why do you got to tell us? Why do we have to tell people? You can tell by the way they set up, it's probably going to be an onside kick. Now, sometimes they fool you. I get that. But just stupid. That's just silly. That's like Nick Wright. I guarantee you this rule was made up by Stephen A. Smith, Nick Wright, and Skip Bayless. They were all together. They put them all together in a room, and they said, think of a rule for onside kicks. This is what they came up with. Just, irritating with that one there. Come on there. Autumn, we got anything else? For the day here?
We do a little bit of that trivia Jeopardy.
Oh boy. We have Wisconsin Jeopardy. Autumn's been working hard. She found a Jeopardy. She found a Jeopardy here. I don't know if I'm going to have a good intro song for Jeopardy. Now, see, that doesn't do it. That was the tidbit one. Don't do it. Not good enough. Oh, hold on. I think we can... Okay. It's time for Jeopardy! That worked.
Okay. So... it has a Panthers category. I'm not sure what that one is, so we'll skip that category. So the Brewers, Packers, Bucks, and Badgers. Which one would you like?
Give me 100 on the Packers.
Who did Brett Favre complete his first NFL pass to?
This is a tough one. He played with a lot of receivers in his day, a lot of tight ends. He played with a lot of running backs. But Brett Favre's first pass was ridiculous. He completed it to himself because that is how good Brett Favre is. He is a dog. He's like, I am not completing this to anyone else but myself.
Correct. I'll be honest, I looked at that and I was like, that ain't right. Well,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how good he was. Let's go Brewers 200.
who is the leading all-time Brewer home run hitter?
All-time Brewer home run hitter. This should be easy. But I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank right now. How recent? How recent are we talking?
Yeah, how much of a hint do you want?
Recency. Like, is it in the
He
2000s?
just got an award recently.
Of course. It was the guy who everybody believes took steroids. It's Ryan Braun.
Yep. We'll do 2 more.
Let's just clear it across the board here. I picked Packers. I picked Brewers. Let's go Bucks for 100.
The Bucks' year of their only championship.
Oh, man. I don't remember the exact year. Can you give me 4 options? On that one? It was in the 70s.
1971, 1975, 1976, 1979.
1971 sounds right.
Yep. All right, Badgers.
Badgers for 200.
Where do the Badgers play their basketball games? That should be 100 point.
Well, there's a lot of historic places. There's a lot of places in Madison, Wisconsin. But I'm going to go with the Kohl Center.
Oh, yeah. Great job, Trajan.
We're slowly winning at Jeopardy. That is a game that will be continued on the next one. But with that, that's about all we got for the day. It was a fantastic show. Great show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I always say, leave us a review, rate us, give us stars, whatever it is. Send us fan mail. Go down into the bio, click send us a text message. Send us fan mail on there. Let us know what you're thinking, any responses to anything you heard us say on the show there that you have ideas on, anything like that, anything you wish that we would talk about more there. So with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. But until we talk to you guys again on Monday, deuces.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river, I have held the devil's hand, felt the weight of